Rising from the Red River's fertile plain, the city of Hanoi weaves centuries of history, culture, and legend into every stone of its historic heart. Through successive dynasties, foreign rule, and national revival, Vietnam's capital has been shaped by the grandeur of its palaces, majestic witnesses to power, artistry, and resilience. To explore the history and heritage of Hanoi's palaces is to step into the story of a nation that has endured, adapted, and thrived across a millennium. Long ago, in the year 1010, Emperor Lai Tai To gazed upon a misty bend in the river. According to legend, a golden dragon soared upward from among the mist, a potent omen. And so, the emperor decreed this site the heart of his new capital, Thang Long, the city of the rising dragon. At its center rose the imperial citadel, a vast walled ensemble of palaces, ceremonial halls, gates, and sacred temples. The imperial citadel of Thang Long would stand as the nexus of Vietnamese rule, its architecture reflecting deep Chinese influence yet evolving into a unique expression of Vietnamese identity. Within these ancient walls, emperors governed, mandarins discussed affairs of state, ceremonies unfolded to honor heaven and earth. The Forbidden City, at the heart of the citadel, inspired by China's own imperial complex, was a world of impressive halls, wooden pillars lacquered in vermilion and gold, and tiled roofs rising in tiers. Surviving centuries of change, wars, and occupation, vestiges of this citadel still speak to visitors today. The South Gate, with its grand archways, gray stone, and decorative motifs, welcomes all who wish to glimpse the glory of Vietnam's imperial era. Moving beyond the citadel, one finds a cityscape peppered with the imprints of succeeding dynasties. When the Lý dynasty came to power in the 15th century, they revitalized the court and built new palatial quarters, insistent on the importance of Confucian scholarship and the stability of the Mandarinate. The Kin Thien Palace served as the heart of the royal compound, its elevated terrace signaling the seat of supreme authority. Though the main halls have not survived the storms of history, their foundations and scattered vestiges provide a sense of the scale and sophistication that once graced this court, a palace setting for the deliberations and rituals that defined the destiny of Vietnam. Hanoi's palatial heritage, however, extends beyond imperial grandeur to embrace the influences of colonial ambition. With the arrival of the French in the late 19th century, the city's architectural landscape was transformed. The Governor-General's Palace, now known as the Presidential Palace, stands as an exquisite embodiment of the French Beaux-Arts style, its sunny yellow walls set amid lush gardens. Built between 1900 and 1906, this palace was designed for grandeur and diplomacy alike, hosting colonial governors and later revolutionary leaders. Ho Chi Minh famously refused to reside in these lavish quarters, instead choosing a modest stilt house in the palace gardens. Yet, the building endures as a symbol of the city's layered history, a monument to colonial opulence now reclaimed by the post-colonial state. Further echoes of this architectural encounter can be found in the smaller but equally distinguished palatial buildings scattered throughout the city, from former French mansions repurposed as government buildings to the elegant state guest house. Each tells a fragment of Hanoi's story through columns, wrought iron balconies, and sweeping staircases. Beyond the walls of formal palaces, the city's spiritual and intellectual soul is reflected in the design of semi-palatial temples and academies. The Temple of Literature, founded in 1070, is particularly esteemed, not as a residence of kings, but as Vietnam's first national university. Modeled after Confucian ideals, it unfolds in 5 courtyards, with serene ponds, pavilions, and carved stone stelae honoring excellence. The reverence shown here to sages, scholars, and the pursuit of knowledge reflects a core tenet of Vietnamese civilization, nurtured within environments as splendid as any royal palace. Hanoi's palaces have also borne witness to conflict, resilience, and renewal. During periods of foreign invasion, first by Chinese forces, then by the French, Japanese, and later by American bombings, many palatial structures were damaged, repurposed, or destroyed. Yet, after each devastation, determined efforts were made to reclaim, restore, or commemorate these spaces. Archaeological excavations at the heart of the Thang Long Citadel, for example, have uncovered layers of palatial foundations, glazed ceramics, and relics testifying to a rich, continuous tradition of governance and ceremony. Restoration and careful preservation have enabled these treasures to become quietly eloquent testimonies to the ingenuity and artistry of generations past. The intangible heritage of these palaces is perhaps just as vital as their physical form. Legends swirl through the halls and gardens, stories of wise officials, courageous queens, and tragic betrayals. Festivals and traditional ceremonies, once staged in these palaces, are revived in modern celebrations, connecting today's citizens to the grandeur and beauty of their history. Even the etiquette, dress, and rituals of Hanoi's royal courts quietly inform the city's sense of identity and continuity. Today, the heritage of Hanoi's palaces lives on not just in the stone, wood, and tile of architectural remains, but in the atmosphere they create, a sense of solemnity, artistry, and historical memory. Locals and travelers wander shaded walkways, peer through ancient gates, or sit by blooming lotus ponds, reflecting on the layers of time. Schools bring children to see relics of the citadel. Artists and writers find inspiration in the echoing footsteps and storied vistas. Hanoi's historic palaces and citadels have secured a place on the UNESCO World Heritage List, underscoring the global importance of this cultural legacy. Conservationists labor to preserve delicate traces of mural, roof tile, and carved stone, knowing that these fragments connect modern Vietnam to an unbroken past. In the end, the history and heritage of Hanoi's palaces are not mere chronicles of kings and conquerors. They are ongoing tales of human aspiration, the desire to build, to honor the sacred, to reconcile the old and the new. They are reminders that even as cities grow and change, the spirit of place endures, shaping the rhythms, dreams, and identity of all who call Hanoi home. Through the centuries, these palaces have stood guard over moments of triumph and trial alike, a silent testimony to the creativity, endurance, and pride of Vietnam's people. And as dusk settles over the city, the golden light falling on tiled roofs and ancient stones offers a fitting tribute to this legacy, luminous, enduring, ever inspiring.